If you had to choose one thing to build a stable financial life, wouldn't be a bigger paycheck. It would be self-control, discipline, the ability to make a decision once, and then keep honoring it when the excitement fades, when you're tired, or when everyone around you is spending like the money will never run out. That might sound almost too simple, but it holds up in real life. Income matters, yes. Opportunities matter. But discipline is what turns income into progress. Without it, a higher salary is just a bigger river that still leaks out into the same holes. Today's episode is about financial literacy, but we're going to treat discipline as the foundation. Not as a pep talk, not as motivation, as a practical life strategy. If you can master a few disciplined behaviors, you don't need to be a genius with money. You just need to be consistent. Let's start with a reality that surprises a lot of people once they see it up close. Many people earn more over time and still feel broke. They get the raise, the bonus, the better job title, and the financial stress doesn't disappear. Sometimes it gets worse. How does that happen? It happens because money problems are often habit problems wearing a financial disguise. It's not always about low income. Sometimes it's about automatic choices. Ordering out when you don't feel like cooking, upgrading the car because the payment was only a little higher, using credit to smooth out every uncomfortable week, and telling yourself you'll fix it later when life calms down. And life rarely calms down on schedule. There's also something very human that kicks in when income rises. You start living like the new number is permanent and guaranteed. You mentally spend a raise before your first paycheck even hits. You upgrade your lifestyle to match the new income as if the goal of earning more was to buy more, rather than to become more stable. Financial literacy, at its core, is understanding how money behaves over time, where it goes, what it costs, what it can grow into, and what it takes away when you misuse it. But knowledge alone doesn't create results. Plenty of people know what they should do and still don't do it. Discipline is the bridge between knowing and doing. So let's connect discipline to the main building blocks of financial literacy: budgeting, avoiding lifestyle inflation, consistent investing, and resisting impulse purchases. These aren't separate topics. They're all the same topic viewed from different angles. Can you guide your future, or do you let your momentary preferences drive the decision? First, budgeting. A budget isn't a punishment. It's not a spreadsheet designed to shame you. A budget is simply you deciding ahead of time what you want your money to accomplish. It's a plan for your cash, so you don't have to reinvent your priorities every time you open your banking app. Discipline in budgeting looks like this. You check your numbers regularly, you tell the truth about what you spent, and you adjust without drama. You don't ignore the category that went over. You don't pretend it didn't happen. You see it, you correct it, and you move on. Second, lifestyle inflation. This is one of the quietest reasons people stay financially stuck. Your lifestyle can expand to fill your income with almost no resistance. Streaming subscriptions pile up. Food costs creep upward. Small upgrades become the new normal. A slightly nicer place. A slightly newer car. A few more weekends away. None of these choices is evil or even irresponsible by itself. The problem is when every improvement becomes automatic and unexamined. Discipline here means you decide which upgrades matter and which ones are just noise. You learn to enjoy some growth in your lifestyle without letting it consume all your progress. You leave room for saving, investing, and breathing. Third, consistent investing. This is where discipline really shows its power, because investing rewards boring, repeated behavior over long periods. People often treat investing like a clever move you make once. But for most working adults, investing is more like brushing your teeth. Small habits, repeated, creating big outcomes. Discipline in investing means you set a schedule and you keep it, even when you don't feel like it, even when the market headlines are loud, even when you'd rather use that money for something more exciting today. It's not about being fearless. It's about being steady. Fourth, avoiding impulse purchases. This is not about never buying anything fun. It's about not letting impulses dictate your financial life. Impulses are expensive because they bypass planning. They turn money into a reaction instead of a tool. A disciplined approach to impulse spending is simple. You slow the decision down. You create a buffer between the urge and the purchase. You ask yourself, is this aligned with what I said I wanted last week? Or is this just a feeling looking for an outlet? Now, to make this real, let's walk through 3 scenarios. These are common, everyday stories. You may recognize yourself in one of them, or you may recognize someone you care about. The point isn't judgment. The point is to see how discipline quietly changes outcomes. Scenario 1. Someone gets a raise and increases spending. Imagine a person named Alex. Alex is doing okay. Not great, but managing. Rent is paid, minimum debt payments are covered, and there's a little left over most months. Then Alex gets a raise. Let's say an extra $600 a month after taxes. On paper, that's meaningful. That's the kind of money that could build an emergency fund, speed up debt payoff, or start investing consistently. But what happens instead is almost automatic. Alex feels the raise as permission. Permission to upgrade. The apartment gets a little nicer, which comes with higher rent. The car gets upgraded because the old one was fine but annoying. More meals out appear because work has been stressful and convenience feels deserved. A few new subscriptions show up. A couple of weekend trips happen because now it feels possible. Within 3 months, the extra $600 is gone. Then something else happens. Because the lifestyle got bigger, the margin got thinner. Now Alex isn't just spending more. Alex is more vulnerable. A surprise expense hits, and it goes on a credit card because the cash buffer never got built. Alex earned more and became financially weaker. Not because of one big mistake, but because of undisciplined upgrades that felt normal in the moment. Scenario 2. Someone sticks to a plan. Now, imagine Jordan. Jordan also gets a raise, same amount, same timing. Jordan is not unusually talented with money. Jordan just has a simple plan and follows it. Before the raise arrives, Jordan decides what will happen to it. Maybe $300 goes to building an emergency fund until it reaches a certain target, like 3 months of expenses. Another $200 goes to paying down a high-interest credit card. The remaining $100 is allowed for lifestyle, something small and enjoyable that doesn't quietly expand into a new monthly obligation. Jordan automates the transfers, so it happens without needing daily willpower. And Jordan tracks spending weekly, not obsessively, just consistently. When a category creeps up, Jordan notices early and corrects. 6 months later, Jordan's life looks similar from the outside. Same job, similar routine. But under the surface, Jordan's financial foundation has changed. The emergency fund is growing. Debt is shrinking. Stress is lower. Options are increasing. Jordan didn't need a huge income jump. Jordan needed discipline to capture the benefits of the income increase instead of letting it vanish. Scenario 3. Someone trapped in debt. Now imagine Sam. Sam is carrying multiple debts. A couple of credit cards, a personal loan, possibly a car payment that's too high for the income. The minimum payments take up a large portion of each paycheck. There's little room left, so Sam is constantly juggling timing. What can be paid now? What can be delayed? What can be moved around? When you're in this situation, it's common to feel like discipline doesn't matter because the hole is already deep. But discipline is actually the thing that creates traction when everything feels stuck. For Sam, the first discipline move is clarity. Listing every debt, the interest rates, the minimum payments, and the due dates. No avoidance. No guessing. Just the truth on paper. Then comes a second discipline move, stopping new debt from forming. This is often harder than paying debt because it requires changing daily behavior. It means fewer impulse purchases, fewer "I'll deal with it later" decisions, and sometimes uncomfortable adjustments like lowering lifestyle costs or having honest conversations with family members about spending limits. Sam might also need a structured payoff plan, whether that's focusing on the highest interest first or using the smallest balance first approach to build momentum. The method matters less than the consistency. Over time, disciplined behavior creates what debt takes away: breathing room. Not overnight, but month by month. Now step back and notice what these scenarios have in common. The difference isn't intelligence. It isn't luck. It isn't even income, at least not primarily. The difference is whether the person uses discipline to direct money toward a future goal or allows short-term comfort and status to redirect it. This brings us to the longer-term impact. How discipline reshapes financial outcomes over years, not days. The first long-term effect of discipline is margin. Margin is the space between what you earn and what you spend. Margin is where your options live. Without margin, every problem becomes urgent. A car repair becomes a crisis. A medical bill becomes a spiral. A job change feels impossible because you can't afford the gap. Discipline protects margin by making spending intentional. It keeps your fixed costs from creeping upward without you noticing. It keeps you from committing to monthly payments that trap your future income. The second long-term effect is compounding, both the good kind and the bad kind. With consistent investing, compounding works in your favor. Small, routine contributions can grow into meaningful assets over time. It's not magic. It's math plus time plus consistency. With credit card debt at high interest, compounding works against you. The balance grows, payments feel endless, and the debt starts to dictate your choices. Discipline interrupts negative compounding by stopping new debt and accelerating payoff. The third effect is identity. This might sound less financial, but it matters. When you repeatedly follow through, when you stick to a budget, pay extra on debt, invest on schedule, you start to see yourself differently. You become the kind of person who handles money with maturity. That identity shift makes future disciplined choices easier because you're no longer negotiating with yourself every week. Now let's talk mindset, because this is where discipline actually lives. The mindset I want to focus on is delayed gratification and responsibility. Delayed gratification is not refusing everything fun. It's choosing what you want most over what you want now. It's understanding that later is not a vague dream. It's a consequence you're actively building. When you delay gratification with money, you're not just saving cash. You're buying freedom from stress. You're buying options. You're buying the ability to say no to things that don't fit your values or your health or your long-term goals. Responsibility is the companion skill. Responsibility means you stop treating money as something that happens to you and start treating it as something you manage. It means your spending reflects your priorities, not your moods. It means you don't wait for a perfect month or a perfect situation start. You work with what you have, and you improve it bit by bit. A grounded way to think about this is, your financial life is built mostly in ordinary weeks, not in the big, dramatic moments. Your future isn't determined by one heroic decision. It's determined by what you do with recurring choices: groceries, subscriptions, meals out, car decisions, housing decisions, and what you do with each raise. If you want a practical mental model, try this one. Every dollar you earn has a job. If you don't assign the job, the dollar will still take one. It will drift into convenience, status, and impulse. Discipline is assigning jobs to your dollars on purpose. And here's another quiet truth: willpower is unreliable. It comes and goes. Discipline works best when it becomes a system. You reduce the number of decisions you have to make in the heat of the moment. You automate savings and investing. You create clear rules for yourself, like, I wait 24 hours before any non-essential purchase, or raises or split. Some goes to goals, some to lifestyle. Now let's close with 2 practical actions you can start this week. Things that are small enough to be doable, but meaningful enough to change your trajectory if you stay consistent. Action 1. Set a simple rule for your next increase in income and write it down now. Even if you're not getting a raise tomorrow, you will likely earn more at some point through a raise, a new job, extra hours, a tax refund, a side project. Decide in advance what happens when extra money shows up. For example, 50% goes to long-term goals like debt payoff, emergency fund, or investing. 30% goes to near-term needs. 20% is guilt-free spending, or any split that fits your situation. The key is that you decide before the money arrives. That prevents lifestyle inflation from quietly claiming all of it. Put the rule somewhere you'll see it. A note in your phone, a line in your budget, even a piece of paper on your desk. Action 2. Create a weekly money check-in, no more than 15 minutes. Pick a day, Sunday evening, Monday morning, whatever fits your life. Set a timer for 15 minutes. During that time, you do 3 things. Review what you spent in the last week, check your upcoming bills for the next week, and make one adjustment if something is off track. That's it. You're not trying to become a full-time accountant. You're building awareness. Awareness is the first layer of discipline. Most financial damage happens when people stop looking. If you do those two things, pre-decide how extra income will be used, and hold a short, consistent check-in each week, you'll be practicing the kind of discipline that creates stability. Not instantly, but steadily. Financial literacy is not just learning terms. It's learning behavior. Discipline is the boring skill that makes every other money skill work. And if you build it now, you won't just have more money over time. You'll have more control over your life. That's the goal. Not flash, not hype, just a solid foundation you can stand on.